Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the D-Pad. I'm your host Brad Davis, and you're watching the show us all about video games. It's our second episode. Alright, for this episode we're going to be dedicating things to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a sequel to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, a game that came out about 10 years ago now. And since then, many people have been wanting Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Heck, even some people still have their Dreamcast hooked up just to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Well, it's finally 2011, and the game is out. The question is though, does Marvel vs. Capcom 3 live up to this hype? Find out in this review coming up right now. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Arguably the most anticipated fighting game since Street Fighter 4. The sequel to the great Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had many people anxious for this year to come. Well, it's 2011 and the game has been released. So is the game good? Yes, but not in all aspects, and I'll explain why a little bit later on in the review. The gameplay of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is very fast and intense. You have a good roster of characters to choose from various Capcom games and various Marvel comics. The number of characters you can choose from, though, is less than the number of characters you had to choose from in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. While I understand why some people may be disappointed by this, once you get to playing the game, you'll find out that the characters all have their own unique playing style for the most part. I'm pretty sure ones that have played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for a decent amount of time can admit to the fact that the game had many clones. Many players have played very similarly, so Marvel vs. Capcom 3 improves on this aspect of the game. As I said before, the game has a lot of fast action which makes for exciting battles. The gameplay has been simplified a bit from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, especially if you choose to play on simple mode. This may disappoint some hardcore fans, but as is the case with some other games, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is easy to play but hard to master. You won't find your team of characters until you play around with the game for a decent amount of time. A nice touch about the game is that you can save teams so that you don't have to spend that much time in the character select screen if you are set on what characters you feel the most comfortable with. So the gameplay in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is fantastic and is in my opinion the best fighting game out right now in terms of addictive gameplay. However, what makes this fact disappointing is that the game is lacking in terms of modes and features compared to other recent fighting games such as Super Street Fighter 4. First of all, the only offline modes that there are arcade, versus, mission, and training, all of which are pretty typical in terms of what you would expect them to be. Arcade mode is your typical fighting game arcade mode with a cheap but not so bad boss at the end. Versus is offline multiplayer. Mission mode is completing moves, combos, and other things with various characters, and training mode is your usual training game mode in a fighting game, letting you practice playing the game with various characters in various ways. It would have been nice to see something along the lines of a survival mode or a handicap arcade mode in which you play with fewer characters in the CPU. You know, just something that would help make the game be still fun to play for ones that have went through arcade mode a good number of times, but don't want to play the game's multiplayer modes for whatever reasons. Speaking of multiplayer, the game is very disappointing online. Compared to games like Super Street Fighter 4, the game is lacking in terms of its online setup. There isn't various modes to choose from, and also the game doesn't have a spectator mode, so if you're in a lobby and a fight is happening between the players in the lobby, you are stuck looking at the menu until it's your turn to get into the fight. The game also can have various problems with connecting to matches and using quick search. Another thing that I don't like about the games online is that players using the game's simple mode controls can play with people playing the game on normal mode controls in ranked matches. Ranked matches to me should be as fair as possible, especially when it comes to controls. Ones that are really deep into the game will more than likely not have any problems with within person playing on simple mode, since simple mode lacks some of the things that you can do when playing with normal controls. However, the fact that ranked battles can be like this just doesn't seem right to me, especially for newer players learning to play the game with normal controls. Gameplay additions like X Factor, which makes moves have more damage than normal, also somewhat add on to me feeling this way. One thing that I can say about the game though is that in terms of the matches I had, there was little lag if any at all. The battles were smooth, which is great, especially since, as I said before, the gameplay in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is very fast and fluid. So Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has very fun and addictive gameplay with great flashy graphics and presentation and entertaining characters like Deadpool.
I get the cover of the next Street Fighter for this, right, Capcom? Right?
However, the game feels outdated in terms of modes online and offline, and while the characters in the game feel different from each other, the lack of some characters like members from the Fantastic Four, Mega Man, and others may be disappointing for some. This, along with the fact that the game lacks things online, makes this game feel like it was made with downloadable content in mind. Ching ching! Thus, I can't recommend this game to everybody. Basically, if you don't know that many people that have this game and/or are not that big of a fighting game fan but interested in this game, I recommend waiting to get this game when it's cheaper, since right now it's $60 and the game lacks content in terms of modes and features, and also searching online for people to play with can be a pain sometimes. So the game is very solid in terms of gameplay, but lacks content. This game should have been so much more, and therefore in my opinion, the game just doesn't live up to its hype. Well, that was a review of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. As I said in the review, the game is really good in terms of gameplay, but it's lacking in terms of features. For all you sports video game fans watching this, I would call Marvel vs. Capcom 3 the All-Pro Football 2K of fighting games. But anyways, as I said earlier in the episode, in the show, we're going to be dedicating this episode to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And what we're going to do right now is me and my brother is going to compete in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, since it's a really fun game to have friends over and play against them. Now this is going to be our second battle. In the first battle, in the first episode, we played with Super Mario Kart, and I beat my brother in that, and that put me up 1-0. So this is our second battle, and the question is, will Jordan tie things up, or will I add on to my lead? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to battle. Alright, hello guys, what's up? This is match 2 of Brad vs. Jordan. This is my brother Jordan. We're about to play Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And in the first battle, I beat him in Super Mario Kart. So for the second battle, let's see what happens. Let's see if he wins or see if I win. For this battle, I'm going to be using the Arcade Fight Stick Tournament Edition. My brother's going to be using the Fight Pad. And I've just got the Fight Stick about 4 months ago, so I'm still getting used to things. My brother doesn't want to change to the Fight Stick. He wants to stick to the Fight Pad. So we'll see if that has any effect on this battle. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this. Let's play. Alright.
Normal vs. Capcom 3. That's right. The third chapter. The superheroes are all here. Who will rise to the top?
The X-23, I'm gonna get Wolverine. And who else should I get? Yeah, I'll get Magneto. I haven't really played with him that much, but I'll get him. Magneto. It's Marvel, baby! Alright, okay, Daily Google. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
You don't want to get hurt, do you?
Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man.
Get ready to brawl. Fight!
See you later!
Yes.
What? Sit down. Oh, what? Get that out. What? Ah, man, I wasn't even looking at the health bar that much for some reason. Get out, get out. Oh man.
Get ready. Maximum spike.
Good job. I'm still not used to the fight state that much in this game. Gotta play some more. Good job. Alright, well, Jordan gets the point, and that ties things up. I have 1 point, Jordan has 1 point. When we'll see in future episodes what happens as the battle goes along. Well, that was another episode of Defense. Hopefully you guys have fun watching this. And until then, this is Brad Davis. See you next time. Bye bye, everybody.